Hello everyone, we are Group 10 and today we'll present into our Community Needs and Assets Assessment of Qu'Appelle. The members of our group consist of Laura Biding, Angela Rojanskaya, Sheila Cameron, Candice Curtis-Curley, Megan Cater, and myself, Carly Bigknife. The outline of this presentation is as follows. First, we will go through what we uncovered during our community assessment. Then, we will describe what the perceived strengths and challenges of the community are. Then we will go through what our plan is to address a particular issue in the community, which will include a community diagnosis with rationale and how we would involve the community. Nestled within the rolling hills of Qu'Appelle Valley lies the town of Qu'Appelle. When initially approaching this community, you are struck by the beauty that surrounds you. However, this town is much more than just appealing to the eye. Within this community are many strengths and much promise for its residents. Qu'Appelle is located 70 kilometers northeast of Regina in the Qu'Appelle Valley nestled between Mission Lake and Echo Lake. The town itself covers an area of just over 5 kilometers. Surrounded by rolling hills and beautiful lakes, this community offers a sense of serenity and closeness to nature for its residents and those who visit. We will begin with community history and perception. Every community has a story to tell, and it's important to start with where this community began, and some of the important events that helped to make this community what it is today. The First Nations gave the name to the last in the chain of 4 lakes, now known as Lake Qu'Appelle. Tradition tells that spirits inhabited the shores of the lake and that First Nations heard voices while paddling in their canoes. The name is likely drawn from the Cree name Qu'Appelle, which means what is calling. Qu'Appelle is in the center of a beautiful chain of lakes, which made it a convenient location to be the hub of many trading companies. The primary tuberculosis treatment center in Saskatchewan was housed in Qu'Appelle and closed in 1969. This community also housed an Indian residential school, which was opened in 1884 and closed in 1969. To this day, there are members of this community and throughout Saskatchewan that are dealing with the psychological effects that this experience had on them. This community is perceived as modern, sustainable, energetic, and spiritually orientated, and you will see throughout this presentation that this is a very accurate perception. We will now focus on the demographic of people that make this vibrant community what it is. The most recent data suggests that the total population is 2,714 people. The gender distribution is split down the middle. The median age of the residents is 48 years old. Just over 50% are either married or living common law. The remaining residents are single, divorced, or widowed. Of these, many are single mothers. English is the predominant language spoken at home. Other languages include French and Cree, reflecting the large First Nations and Métis presence. As we know, to provide holistic care, it is important to have an understanding of the culture and ethnicity that make up a community. This community houses 9 churches. Most of the town's residents are Christian, with a high percentage of these representing the Catholic faith. The First Nations and Métis people contribute significantly to the culture fabric of Qu'Appelle. Aboriginal tradition has many cultural practices such as powwows, native dancing, feasts, spiritual ceremonies, and sweat lodges. The employment rate in this community is high, with a reported 4.2% unemployment rate in 2011. The median income is just over $50,000 a year. However, nearly half of those employed earn less than $20,000 per year. This community delivers the opportunity for quality recreation both indoors and outdoors, which allows for the unpredictability of the season. It also offers a wide range of activities and clubs catering to many different interests and abilities. There are also a variety of clubs and organizations within this community that are available to all residents and cater to all ages. Within Qu'Appelle, there are 3 educational institutions from elementary school to post-secondary education. Qu'Appelle Elementary School serves school-age children from kindergarten to grade 7. This school offers a nutrition program and after-school program to those students in need, as well as many extracurricular activities. Fort Fox High School serves teens from grades 8 through grades 12. There are many extracurricular activities available to all students, as well as many services that cater to the specific needs of their students, including a nutrition program, counseling, daycare, and an integrated learning center. Parkland College offers individuals the opportunity to continue with their adult basic education, as well as the opportunity to obtain certificates, diplomas, and bachelor degrees. The All Nations Healing Hospital has been operating for 10 years, providing healthcare to the citizens of Fort Qu'Appelle and the surrounding areas. The hospital consists of 13 acute care beds, one palliative care bed, and a large outpatient and diagnostic center with 24/7 emergency care. The hospital also consists of the First Nations Health Services, which provides care to the First Nations people that are living on the surrounding reserves. The White Raven Healing Center offers mental health and addiction services with conventional therapeutic techniques combined with First Nation healing practice. The hospital facility also offers a women's health center which staffs nurse practitioners and midwives. Other locally accessible services include home care, special care homes, a safe shelter for women and their children, along with a center for mental health and addictions that offers conventional therapy combined with First Nation healing practices. The Department of Social Services maintains a local office providing childcare subsidies and financial assistance for lower income families and people with disabilities. Fort Qu'Appelle has a well-equipped fire hall with trained volunteers that attend local and highway emergencies and fires. There is an RCMP detachment responsible for the enforcement of federal and provincial statutes and municipal bylaws, and handles criminal investigations. The File Hills Police is a self-administered municipal police force that is cost-shared by the federal government and the government of Saskatchewan. Together with the RCMP, these two law enforcements ensure a sense of security in day-to-day lives of local residents. There is no public transit available and no mention from secondary sources of any taxi or private company that would offer paid car services as a means of transportation. However, the town does run a Transit for the Disabled program that provides transportation to the elderly and persons with limited mobility. In 2006, the government of Saskatchewan and the File Hills Qu'Appelle Tribal Council invested $800,000 in improving road access to the All Nations Healing Hospital. There are various ways for the community to communicate, including a town website that offers information about services available in the community. There is also a community newspaper, the Fort Qu'Appelle Times, which is published weekly and circulates to about 1,300 people. In addition to the mass communication, there are also places to post notices at local business and recreational facilities. All levels of government are represented in this community, including local, Aboriginal, provincial, and federal government. There is a provincial courthouse in town which deals with the municipal, provincial, and criminal code offenses. The Town Council is actively pursuing growth initiatives, and the File Hills Tribal Council continues to pursue a better living conditions for the people it serves. The RCMP enforces federal and provincial statutes as well as municipal bylaws. Our group believes that the health services offered in Fort Qu'Appelle constitute one of its biggest strengths. The strengths of healthcare in this community include local access to healthcare, which allows individuals needing care the opportunity to be within close range to their support. For the First Nations population, it allows them to have the mainstream therapeutic techniques of medicine, but also implements their own cultural ways of medicine, which demonstrates a holistic approach to healthcare. We also found through our research that the healthcare services in this community focus on an upstream approach, which according to the Public Health Agency of Canada, the sooner interventions are initiated to promote health and prevent disease, the greater the health gains are for the community. Another strength that is evident is the many recreation opportunities in this community. This community provides opportunities for both indoor and outdoor recreation, allowing for flexibility in the ever-changing Saskatchewan climate. In addition to offering its residents the opportunity for physical recreation, it also possesses many opportunities for social recreation. Another very noticeable aspect of recreation is that it targets age groups across lifespan, from children to older adults. The activities are generally affordable and easily accessible, and they contribute to the emotional, physical, and mental well-being of residents by reducing morbidities and providing a sense of community inclusiveness. Every community has its challenges, and this community is no different. Upon first glance, it would appear that the education system in Fort Qu'Appelle would be considered a strength due to the fact that there are 3 educational institutions accessible to the residents. However, upon deeper examination, our data tells us that the members of this community are not utilizing these resources. The data that we obtain indicates that 38% of the populations have not completed high school, which according to the Employment and Social Development Canada is more than double the national average of 19.1%. Of those who completed high school, 60% did not obtain any post-secondary education, according to Statistics Canada. These statistics left us wondering why. With such an abundance of education opportunities in a town this size, are these institutions not being accessed? The answer, unfortunately, is unclear based on secondary sources. But what we do know based on our research is that education levels are directly associated with other social determinants of health, namely income level, employment, working conditions, and access to high-quality health care. Another challenge we found within this community is the lack of transportation. There is no form of public transportation, nor is there any form of paid transportation. The Transit for the Disabled program provides limited hours of bus services, Mondays to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m., which limits the accessibility of using this service on weekends, evenings, or throughout the night. This apparent lack of transportation limits mobility and has the potential to lead to such things as social isolation, especially among low-income groups, missed opportunities for a healthier lifestyle, and failing to attend promptly to health-related concerns. The identification of the town's strengths and challenges is based only on secondary data. This forces us to draw conclusions without direct input from community. Speaking directly with the community members and leaders would have provided insight into gaps in services and perceived strengths. Another drawback is it is unknown if the residents are even aware of the many services available in this community. We feel by using only secondary data, we are not looking at the whole picture. Facts and figures are valuable, but they mean nothing without the perspective of the community. We have chosen to facilitate an intervention centered on the underutilization of Fort Qu'Appelle's abundant educational facilities. A significant proportion of people aged 15 and over in Fort Qu'Appelle are at a risk of compromised health related to the fact they have not completed high school or pursued post-secondary education, as evidenced by the statistics which show that 38% do not have a high school diploma and 60% have not attended college. This manifests in poor literacy skills and access to health information, such as proper diet, risk associated with smoking, knowledge of diseases, and ways to prevent them. We have chosen this issue because education affects socioeconomic status, employment opportunities, and safe working environments. In addition, education and literacy skills empower people to improve their lifestyles by providing them with knowledge and skills for problem solving and a sense of control and mastery over life circumstances. It also increases job and income security. Job satisfaction enhances people's ability to access and understand information that keeps them healthy. The lack of education affects not only the individuals within this community, but also affects the sustainability of the community. Community involvement is essential to helping examiners identify the causes of education underutilization. We will involve the community by seeking the views of the residents through focus groups and interviews. The information we gain will provide the basis for a small-scale survey. We will seek funding from the Parkland College, the Town of Fort Qu'Appelle, and the Provincial Ministry of Education. We will follow guidelines set out by the World Health Organization to create the survey, refining its scope, examining what information is needed, the best collection method, and ways to ensure the success of the survey. The aim of this action plan is to determine what financial, motivational, health culture, and other barriers exist. Do community leaders, healthcare professionals, and educators, for example, promote the benefits of completing high school? Does the college actively recruit students from all ethnic backgrounds and provide grants and individuals mentoring to ensure success? Are the institutional atmospheres inclusive? We hope you have enjoyed learning about Fort Qu'Appelle as much as we did. We hope that you see what we see in this community, which is an upstream approach to healthcare and the desire to sustain a healthy community for its residents. Assessing this community has given our group the knowledge of a community previously unknown to the majority of us. We have gained great respect for the commitment that the residents and leaders have to the community and to each other, admiration for the way they have incorporated a holistic approach to healthcare, and an appreciation for the strength that this community has shown to overcome adversities they have been faced with. Our hope is, after this presentation, if you're ever driving through the Qu'Appelle Valley, that you see more than just rolling hills and beautiful lakes, because there is definitely more to this community than meets the eye.